Atlanta police are looking for a shooter who killed a pregnant mother of two found behind the wheel on the downtown connector. Officers found her last Tuesday on the northbound side of I-75, just before the I-20 interchange near Central Avenue.
Now her family is hoping anyone in rush hour traffic that evening who saw something will go to police.
Atlanta, April 14th, 2026. Rush hour. Thousands of cars crawling along Interstate 75 northbound. Bumper to bumper, everyone just trying to get home. And somewhere in that sea of vehicles, inside a white BMW SUV, a 34-year-old woman was dying. She had already been shot. She was trying to get out of the car. She was trying to call 911. And nobody around her, not one person in that traffic, knew what was happening right next to them. When police arrived, they found her BMW pulled over onto the median. The turn signal was still blinking, like she had been trying to signal for help the whole time. Bianca Huntley was 4.5 months pregnant, and she never made it home. Let that sit with you for a second. Before we go any further, if you are new here, this channel exists for people like Bianca. Real women, real stories. Stories that deserve more than a news headline and a forgotten case file. If that matters to you, hit that like button right now, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss when we cover a new case. It takes 2 seconds. And for someone like Bianca, whose family is still waiting for answers, it means everything to know that people are paying attention. Now let's get into it. Bianca Huntley grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina. By every account, she was the kind of person who made you feel better just by being in the room. Her mother, Gloria Allen, described her as a shining light. Her brother, Zeke, said that when he was down, Bianca was the one telling him to pick his chin up. Even though she was a younger sibling, she had that big sister energy, that protective, nurturing, keep-going kind of spirit that some people are just born with. About 9 years ago, she made the decision to leave Greensboro behind and build something new in Atlanta. And she did not go down there to coast. By age 30 years old, Bianca owned her own home. She was raising 2 daughters, London and Ariana, completely on her own. No one handing her anything. No safety net. Just a woman who decided she was going to figure it out, and she did. Her mother made a point of saying that. By herself. Nobody did it for her. She did it, and she was not done building. At the time of her death, she was a quality manager at DHL in McDonough. She had just received a promotion. She was in the middle of building out her team, hiring people, stepping into a bigger role. She was 4.5 months pregnant with a baby girl she planned to name Heaven. She had 2 daughters at home, one 15, one 5, who needed their mother. Everything she had worked for was right in front of her. The life she had built with her own 2 hands was finally opening up into something even bigger. And then on April 14th, during the Tuesday evening commute, someone took all that away. Here is what we know about the timeline. Bianca finished her shift at DHL in McDonough and got in her white BMW to head home to Douglasville. That is a commute she had made hundreds of times. She knew the route. She knew the traffic. There was nothing unusual about getting on I-75 northbound that evening. Thousands of other people were doing the exact same thing. But somewhere along that drive, something happened. Something that should not have happened. And by 6:15 in the evening, Atlanta police were receiving a call about a woman shot on the interstate near North Central Avenue Southwest, right by the Atlanta airport. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Bianca inside her BMW on the shoulder of the road. She had been shot in the left arm and the torso. She was still alive. She had pulled the car over, tried to get out, tried to dial 911. Think about what that means. She was hit, she was bleeding, and her first instinct was to try to save herself and her baby. To fight, officers rushed her to Grady Memorial Hospital in critical condition. She did not survive. Bianca Huntley and her unborn daughter Heaven were both pronounced dead. Now here is where this case starts to open up in a direction that should make every single one of you lean in. Because investigators did not believe Bianca was shot on that stretch of I-75 where she was found. The Atlanta Police Department's homicide unit stated early in the investigation that they believed the shooting occurred at a separate, currently unknown location. She was shot somewhere else. She then drove or attempted to drive, while critically wounded, and ended up where police found her, which means the actual crime scene, the place where someone pulled a trigger and aimed at a pregnant woman in a car, has not been identified. As of right now, police do not know exactly where on that interstate, or possibly even off that interstate, Bianca was shot. Think about what that means for the investigation. No confirmed crime scene. No shell casings at a known location. No witnesses who watched it happen in real time. Just a woman who survived long enough to pull over, and a turn signal still blinking when help arrived. Detectives began pulling traffic camera footage. They started analyzing cell phone pings to try to reconstruct a route, to figure out where a car was and when to pinpoint the moment the shooting happened. That work takes time. And in cases like this, time is the enemy of justice. But there is something else that matters here. Something that shifts this case away from a tragic but random act of violence and into something that demands harder questions. Bianca's mother, Gloria Allen, told reporters clearly and without hesitation that she does not believe this was random. She does not believe it was road rage. She believes her daughter was targeted. Now, let that word settle. Targeted. Because if Gloria Allen is right, and mothers who knew their children for 34 years often know things the rest of us do not, then someone chose Bianca specifically. Someone knew enough about her routine, her car, her commute, to find her on a packed Atlanta interstate during evening rush hour. That takes planning, or proximity, or both, and that distinction changes everything about who we should be looking at and why. Her brother Zeke was more measured in public. He said the family genuinely does not know if it was road rage or something targeted. He was honest about the uncertainty, but he also said something that stayed with me. He said, "I believe we, as a people, have to look out for our women and kids." He was not just grieving. He was making a point. He was saying that what happened to his sister is part of something bigger. That women like Bianca, women who are doing everything right, building something real, raising children, go to work, coming home, should be safe. And they are not.
You kind of know how road rage can get in things like this. We don't know at this time if it's that. We don't know if it's targeted. We have no idea. How did they take my mommy away? You know, questions like that. And the 15-year-old is taking it probably just a little harder because, you know, she understands what this is and her mom isn't coming back. Dedicated her whole entire life to her children and her job and her family.
Here is what is so psychologically disturbing about this case. Bianca Huntley represents the version of this story we never want to believe is possible. She was not in a dangerous situation. She was not in a volatile relationship that we know of. She was not in the wrong place at the wrong time in any obvious sense. She was on the highway, going home from work, in traffic, around hundreds of other people, and someone still got to her. That is the part that does not let you sleep. If Bianca is not safe on a crowded interstate during rush hour, who is? And there are questions that nobody has answered publicly. Who knew Bianca's routine? Who knew what car she drove, what time she got off work, what route she took home? If this was targeted, the person responsible had access to information about her daily life. That points inward. It points to someone in her orbit, someone who had been watching, or someone who had been told. On the other hand, road rage on Atlanta highways is not a small problem. Atlanta's interstate system is one of the most congested in the country. Incidents of road rage, including shootings, happen with a frequency that should horrify all of us. It is possible, genuinely possible, that a stranger with a gun and uncontrollable rage crossed paths with Bianca that evening and made a decision in seconds that ended 2 lives. That scenario is no less devastating, but it changes who we are looking for. At this moment, Atlanta police have not identified any suspects. No arrests have been made. The investigation is active. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. And Bianca's family has set up a GoFundMe to care for the 2 daughters she left behind. 2 girls who had lost their mother, their baby sister, and the future Bianca was fighting every day to build for them. Michael Huntley, the father of Bianca's oldest daughter, London, said something that I cannot stop thinking about. He said, "Having to explain to my baby that her mama is never coming home. It's nothing you can prepare for. It's nothing you ever expect. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Ain't no handbook for it. There is no handbook because this is not supposed to happen. Not like this. not to a woman like Bianca. So I want to ask you something, and I want you to think about this carefully before you comment. If Bianca's mother is right, if this was not random, then someone in or near Bianca's life made a decision, a calculated one. What kind of person targets a pregnant woman on a highway? What do they gain? What are they trying to silence? And if it was road rage, if it was a stranger, what does it say about the world we have built, where a woman can be executed in traffic surrounded by hundreds of people and nobody sees anything? What is your theory? Who do you think did this? And what do you think investigators are not telling us yet? Drop everything in the comments. This case needs eyes on it. Bianca Huntley and her daughter haven't deserved justice. And the only way that pressure stays on is if people keep talking. Subscribe to 3 a.m. Files so you are here when we get updates on this case. Like this video if Bianca's story moved you. Share it so more people know her name. Not as a headline, as a person, as a mother, as a light that got snuffed out on a Tuesday evening with her turn signal still blinking. We will be watching this one closely. Stay with us.